So I wanted to show you guys a couple things that I did to modify some of my tools for my project. So I've been using a jigsaw, handheld, just like this. It's the rigid version. But anyway, I needed a table saw, stationary version of this, where I didn't have to hold it and I can move the piece on top of it. Similar to like the way a scroll saw operates, except scroll saw is held with the blade at the top and the bottom, so you have to set up the blade in between the hole. When you got a bunch of parts, it's a lot of setup time. So this way, you're able to cut interior holes just by drilling a hole where you need it and then cutting around and slipping it through, saving you a lot of time and setup because it goes through. So what I ended up doing is I have a table sawhorses set up to make a table, as you can see, and then I just cut this hole basically by laying the jigsaw on the table like that and then tracing around it so that the hole that goes through is actually cut. You see if you can tell from here. So the edge right here is in line with this surface here. So I basically just use a straight edge ruler and measured the distance from here to here, and then copied it onto here and then cut it out, and then just measured the thickness of this and then cut down. I use a multi-tool with the blade on it to kind of cut that out so that when I turn it over, it's somewhat flush with the surface of the board. So it just sits there like that, and then I just I glued and clamped 2 half-inch pieces of plywood to just to give it more structural integrity, since it's thinner there, and I didn't want it to, because it vibrates a lot, I wanted it to make sure it had more support underneath it. And then since it is handheld, I had to end up taping the handle down, and it has a tendency to want to kind of tip back a little bit because of the way the weight is balanced on this thing. So to keep that from happening, especially when the battery's on it, I made this little piece of board. It's about 6 inches long or so, and then the main thing is that this piece where my fingers, in between my fingers in the middle, is the right thickness for it to rest between the edge here and the top surface up here. So what I do is slip it in like that and then turn it sideways. Hard to do it with one hand, but can manage there while I'm filming. And it locks it in so that it doesn't tip and it won't come out. So, and then when I want to turn it on, all I got to do is slip the battery in. So you just kind of set it there like that, and when I'm ready to actually drill, now it's on. So